It doesn't have to be perfect. What a story. Oh my god, we were laughing so hard.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem.
It wasn't the funniest story, but it's supposed to be scary.
It was a Drew story, but
rude.
Get used to them, folks. But okay, I have a few updates. I emailed the Middle Feast, and I have yet to hear anything back, so I'm getting mad at them.
Damn it.
I might try to email them again, see what they say. We can also just track them online.
Don't people care about being in podcasts anymore?
Yeah,
Jeez.
Yeah, it's just free advertising. I'm so upset that they didn't get back to me. I told them I'm doing a podcast. I mentioned you. If you guys want an interview out of it or something like that, let me, contact me back. But I haven't heard anything, so I might hashtag it War in the Middle Feast. I don't know. I was gonna put Peace in the Middle Feast or Journey to the Middle Feast, but I don't know. I might have to.
Do you think they're starting something with their non-reply?
Maybe. I think so. That's how I'm taking it.
Okay. Well,
I need to take theirs,
the entertainment,
and make it mine.
Goes up from there.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep trying at that. We're not gonna give up. We're gonna eat there. We're gonna track them down.
That's a good idea. I still think we should do a review.
Yeah, we'll do a review of the Middle Feast. What else? Oh, I took all of the ideas from that notepad that I was talking about in the last episode.
Oh yeah.
And these are just embarrassing. These are super embarrassing. And one of them was really interesting that I had a bit of a. I've had this idea for a show called Shapes for like a really long time, right? I didn't realize how long I've had it backlogged in my mind. Yeah, because I had done something similar to that, and I added in parentheses here that it's similar to that. I mean, these people don't care.
But
it's like more you and me, yeah.
We've written an episode almost.
And almost an entire episode, yeah.
We've done it almost.
I think I've actually finished that
You
episode.
did?
I just haven't. Yeah, I think I did, but we can look over it soon. Anyways, here are those ideas. They're pretty cringy, and they don't really make any sense. And remember, I was very young at the time, thinking I knew things.
I know. Do these have any
still
dates
there, but
on
I'm
them?
No, I don't know. I can't. I'm gonna say I'm probably like 15, 16.
Dang, that is backlog.
At the bulk of my
That's like 10
terrible
years
experience.
ago.
Yeah, terrible experiences in my life were going on right then.
Ooh, juicy.
And so I'm all my emotions and crap are in this. But I shouldn't preface this anymore because did I say emotions? I'm weird.
No.
Okay. So
I said emotions.
Short film ideas. Let's see. A fiction based off of my own paranoid feelings about food and ingesting something that will hurt me or kill me. I still have that to this day.
A fiction based off of this?
Yeah. So it's based off of what I'm feeling, but like an entire story surrounding someone who has to deal with that. And then
are you how would you expound on that? Is it just
I don't want to. I really don't. I don't know if that'll make it worse or if I'll just get over it.
In your head, do you see that as like the paranoia of ingesting food? Like you would just do that with cinematography?
Yeah, that's what that would be the whole practice of it, because that's all I would think about, and I still think about. But when I was younger, how can I make a film, without any, words or anything? If it's just me by myself, setting up cameras on all my solid surfaces and being in front of the camera, which I hate, but it's a lot of what I did. Still do. What am I saying? So, but yeah, how can I, translate those feelings through cinematography for sure. Yeah. But that was what I wanted. I liked this one, and I can still see it playing out.
Number
so
2?
Hear it out. Yeah, number 2. Yeah, sorry, I like number 2. So, a bruiser. So similar to like a hitman, or like a hired guy that beats people up. He has a tumor, and inside that, I pictured the tumor either being in his chest or on his neck, and inside of it there's a bug, right? And he squeezes. He gets it out. He squeezes it out. And he realized he has a complete change of once he gets the bug out, he has a complete change of mindset. And so he's trying to do his job, but he can't kill or hurt people anymore. And so he's kind of at odds with what he wants to do. Does he put it back in and continue doing his job, or does he live his life
so
the way
a
that
chip like bug.
Yeah, but yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Yeah,
Because I was
it's
just like
affecting
a
him.
tumor with like an alien bug in it
Yeah.
that makes him do bad things.
Yeah.
That's not it.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Like a
Like a
insect,
like a thing. Yeah.
Oh.
And he gets it out. Yeah.
and then he like keeps it at home and like.
Yeah.
A
Like
glass.
when he squeezes it, and this was based off
I
of
like
a dream.
I like that part of it.
Yeah, and it's just something he's had for like a
3D
long time, and he's
graphics,
always
so.
kind of been a shit, like most of his life, and he's had this like tumor, and then yeah, he finally like it starts hurting him or something, and he like cuts it.
Oh,
off.
so he's been like this, infected with this,
Mhm.
and just is kind of an asshole who is now able to kill people because he's just been so irritated his whole life almost.
Yeah.
And then he gets it out, and he's like, "Oh, that's not who I am with this thing."
Yeah, and he changes it up,
Yeah.
but then I wanted him to just put it back in, like have this really gross scene of him putting it back, and then just going back to what he does.
Kind of sounds like a really unique superhero who just like it's like, yeah, I'm powerful if I infect myself with this alien.
Yeah.
It's kind of creepy, but I like dig it.
Yeah.
Be a good comic book.
Yeah. Oh, and maybe after the podcast, I dreamt a comic book day before yesterday.
Sick.
And so I want to tell you both about it. Actually,
Yeah,
I think
got the-
you could definitely
Got
help
the
me out
comic
with
book
it.
expert in here.
Good.
Thank you.
So this is the one. Number 3 is the one that I was like, oh my god, like I can't believe this is the origins of Shapes for me. And Shapes is gonna happen. I know it's gonna happen because I just dream about it all the time.
Hell
Like
yeah.
daydream about it. And but here it is. It says an unsuccessful vlogger stumbles upon a metaphysical realm during filming. That was the start.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Like somehow
Yeah.
he falls into something, and then he meets somebody there, and it changes his life. But that's just such the groundwork for the possibility of what we were working on, sort of, and I've changed it so much.
Yeah.
Let's see. This one's crazy for me now. This one's intense. So fatherhood. I did fatherhood, and then it was just that I added this later on. But it says
I'm basically letting you. I'm just listening at this point. I'm not reading along.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
no worries. So it says fatherhood for number 4, a paranoid, delusional take on the subject dealing with the relationship between the man and his unborn child, the subsequent connection between the two. So it's pretty much Eraserhead. when I looked back on it and then I watched Eraser, I was like, oh. Yeah, no, damn it. And I hadn't seen it at that point, so it's not my fault. But
I've
that's
never seen Eraserhead.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's amazing. You'd love it. Yeah.
You just like it because you wrote it.
I know. It's like me and David Lynch, man, just simpatico. But
Okay, give me the quick synopsis just so I know where that one.
yeah,
is
I
at.
mean, I think I would be blending mine in that story if I started, because I don't really remember entirely what I was thinking in that instance, but it is very similar to that. I don't know, just like, or like even now, like even what I've shared with you now with you know, my future kid, you know, happening soon, but just the pressure of infancy, like, you know, not wanting to just break this really fragile thing. It can just lead you to just total madness, and I feel like lately, or I wanted to do a podcast on this, but basically thinking that, you know, maybe if something's going to change, that would change certain things about you, but that's not really the case. It'll just sometimes those negative things actually just get worse, like certain things that I'm paranoid about are even more amplified. Or I actually told Ariel that my sense of justice is totally different too. Like it's just amped up. Yeah, it's I mean, it's the same thing, but it's like amped up like too much, where it's ridiculous. Where
You're like, no, that's right, damn it.
yeah, and just like cut off their heads, like kind of like mentality. It's like
I
they don't
put up with them.
Yeah, like I'll cut them out of my life in a second, kind of thing. You know, if it's not beneficial to me or if it's harming me, mainly because I've had to do that in these last 2 years. But I think with the kid, you kind of filter everything through, like, okay, like, is this person gonna have to see me, you know, eat shit, basically, you know, like eat other people's shit, and like have to take that, and then like, do I want that to be a good an example of like being
of you
humble?
Eating shit?
Yeah, pretty much. Or do I want to be like, no, I want to be someone who they look at that and I didn't eat that you know, I didn't take shit from anybody, you know, kind of thing. So that's kind of being weighed, and or I think of like kind of a similar concept of like how do I want that person to be treated? So how do I want my kid to be treated? If someone's treating me terribly, like, would I want my kid to be treated that way? Hell no. And I'd want them to have the same like gumption I have about stopping that, you know, of not being respected or loved, you know. And there's a couple situations in my life lately that have made that something I've had to keep doing, like standing up for myself and behaving a certain way. And like I said, this justice level is just too much. Like it's like I don't know. It's medieval. It definitely is.
Sounds cut and dry.
Yeah, and maybe it's like similar to what we were talking about before, was that how in these 9 months, like I have this animal urge to just stay alive. Like just go in your home, don't go outside, don't do anything that might kill you. You know what I mean? And I didn't know what it was, and you're like, it's that nurturing thing of like, I need to see this thing through so that I can, you know, facilitate its upbringing and everything, and it's just like an ingrained thing of like, I was already kind of afraid of a lot of things, and then I'm just like, now I'm afraid of everything, and I'm just gonna be in my nest. Like, okay, got 9 more months. We can do this. Stay alive, Gabe. Stay alive. Don't do anything that'll kill you.
Yeah, you know, just 9 more months,
and then I could die.
18 years.
Then I could totally die. I know, right? I was like, I just need to see it selfishly, and like, okay, I can do whatever I want. Right?
So that's Eraserhead?
Well, okay, no. That's sorry. That's me. That's me, folks. Sorry, I don't mean to rep Eraserhead. Also, I don't want to rep anything that isn't me on anything that I'm doing, but this is okay because I really like Eraserhead. I'm very selfish with my.
I like how you're like, we're not sponsoring anything, but we'll let it slide.
We'll let it slide.
You can pay us later.
I love you, David Lynch. Okay, so Eraserhead. I mean, it's what you make of it, especially with any of David Lynch's films, but you can kind of put your own spin on it. But this one is pretty decisively, I'm just going to do the worst movie review ever, I know it. But yeah, it's this guy, he has this relationship with this girl, and then she ends up telling him that she's pregnant, and she has this baby, but this baby is just so creepy. It's like a little, you've seen this, right? Have you seen this?
I
kid?
have seen Eraserhead.
Okay. So you can step in and save me whenever you want, but
I'm not even gonna pretend that I know how to interpret David Lynch.
Right.
I'm gonna stay out of this one.
I am. I'm gonna try miserably. Anyway, so this baby comes out, and it looks nothing like a baby. In fact, it looks like a hairless sheep. Like it's got this weird head and eyeballs on the side, and like this really scrawny neck, and it's in this wrap, like kind of like, you know, like swaddle a baby, so it's like like a swaddle. And it bleeds. It doesn't just like cry, but it's like meh, like it's really annoying, and it's loud, and so that's his baby. And then the world he lives in is super weird. Like he goes to dinner with his girlfriend's family, and they're just being really off and really, you know, really weird. And
still reflective of Earth though.
Dude, there's like no real definitive time period. There's nothing really. It's in black and white, but it's like nobody's wearing anything that gives you any kind of semblance of time. And that's pretty cool. Like the whole movie plays out that way. You don't really know when and where. You could just assume maybe when it was filmed, you know. But people do have very different types of clothing on. You know, it's not just like trippy for trippy's sake, but things are odd to be odd. You know, they feel weird. But there's a scene where they're at dinner and they have him cut the turkey, and the turkey just starts bleeding everywhere. Like it just starts like, and everybody's like kind of. I don't actually remember if they're freaking out or if I think he's freaking out. He's just like oh shit, like this thing's bleeding everywhere, and it's really weird. And in that instance, you can kind of, you know, get a sense of like he's just really nervous, and you know, he's kind of putting these things in, you know, into existence. It's not actually happening that way, but he's like experiencing it like that. And that's where you take the rest of the movie, because that's kind of in the beginning part. But hold on a second. She's gonna call me in a bit. Sorry, people. All right, we're good. But anyway, so I'll end this soon. The rest of the movie, he's in his apartment, and he's dealing with this baby, and the wife leaves him, so he's just by himself. And there's things in his room, like one of the things that, it was me, Jaime, and Kyle watching it, but we noticed he had like just on his end table, he had a pile of dirt with like this weed sticking out of it, right? And what we all kind of surmised that to be was that in real life, like that room is like really nice. It's just like a normal apartment, and that's like a potted plant. but just the way he's seeing everything around him, like that's kind of how he perceives it. You know, how he perceives his existence and everything, and you know, that entails that everything around him just looks really shitty.
So
you know,
maybe even his baby.
Yeah, exactly. And so that looks really creepy and weird towards him, where he doesn't really want to interact with it. And or there's even scenes too where like him and the baby thing switch heads and it decapitates him or something. Like it's super. Yeah, it's just, and then just that, like, you know, knowing that it's a father-son connection and stuff. There's just so much, and it's really difficult. And hopefully you can forgive me, audience, and Drew and Kayla, for attempting. I didn't want to, but you asked. So
Well, you had said that your little fatherhood thing was basically
because it's a metaphor. But in my opinion, my personal opinion from watching it, and I guess from what I'm going through in my life, it is a metaphor for fatherhood and being super nervous and being paranoid about a lot of different things and you know, passing yourself on, and is that worth it? Is that okay? Like, is that allowed? You know, kind of thing, and viewing the world through very tainted eyes, I guess. You know, trying to be as honest and upfront and capable, I don't know, of what you're doing. So I think it's similar, but in my head, like, yeah, it's close. I don't know what I would do differently than what that movie did for me. So moving on. These I hate these so much. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I still don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but this just it's words, and I think that's a lot of being young too. It's just you say words and you think you're saying something.
They all start with the same letter too?
Yeah.
They all start with P?
Yeah, it was a P series. It wasn't going to be called that.
I mean, the way you're talking about it, it sounds like that's the title.
It's close, yeah. I mean, I'll use it. I'll do it if these actually become a thing. Now, I would want to do these if, like, it actually panned out. I don't know if you can actually, like, pull something from any of this. Like, we can try it. And I've told you in the last one I would want it to be funny because I couldn't bear me trying to do this seriously. And end up like The Room or something. But okay, so this one 5 is pills, and it says uncovering fear, then acceptance, and then inner peace.
So what do you mean by pills?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Drugs, like drugs. I think drugs.
You think because inner peace, that sounds like a like psychedelic.
Yeah, like a psychedelic experience.
Pill, but
and then
it could be any pill.
Don't analyze it, Drew.
Okay.
Just let's keep it going.
I'm just
we got plenty to cover. I'm confused dude, you're confused at your younger self, I'm sure too. 6, pain, which would equal, I'm assuming that's it, which would equal total body awareness and mental control. So I could see the connection between those two.
Total body awareness and mental control?
Yeah. Or like what would it be called now? Mindfulness.
Mental control.
I'd rather put mindfulness
for pain. You think mindfulness and pain are those synonyms?
Yeah. They'd be more. Well,
it's not synonyms.
It would be more like the things that you can potentially find out of those 3 P's. The things that can manifest out of those 3 things. Like changing the meaning, almost like they're redefining those 3 things. That's what I'm feeling.
What is it?
What do you mean?
You said it is redefining those.
Oh,
3
like
things.
these parentheses things. These other things that I'm saying on top of like what's connected to them.
Okay.
And then 7 is practice.
And torture.
Parentheses torture.
Were these parentheses
I
there?
don't know. Yeah. Those were already there.
What is going on?
I don't know. I'm troubled.
Why was it
I have
pain
issues.
and torture next to each other? And
I don't know.
Practice and then what?
Wait. Practice,
total body awareness and mental control. I could see that. And then pain and torture. Those are the correlating
Well,
ones.
there you go. We could do that.
No, I like it.
This is what me at the time.
The other one's a puzzle.
There you go. We'd have to work. We'd have to work
puzzle.
on it.
That's number 8.
Ah, there we go. Huzzah. Puzzle. I don't even know. I don't even want to guess.
That's how your poem ends, basically.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. I'm embarrassed enough. Oh, okay. So here's some podcast questions
Do
for
you
the
even
Drew.
capitalize my name?
So,
Bastard.
of course not.
Bastard. Of course not.
All right. Question number 1, and we gotta do this quick. Okay, here we go.
Speed round.
Actually, this isn't even a question. I just reread it. But this is what do you think of this? I guess because I've noticed a lot of interactions I've had to deal with this. So it's confidence in what we listen to and watch. I feel like every time somebody asks, "Oh, what kind of music do you like listening to?"
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, you know, a little bit of everything, and I hate that answer. I hate when people give me that answer, and I hate when I give that answer. Do you find yourself doing that?
I have done that, and I've hated it, so I kind of stopped, and I just say what I'm currently listening to because everyone knows that I probably like everything, or that you can assume. You don't have to say everything not country.
Right.
I tell people now I'm just on a hip hop phase, so I go into that, and then it
that's
starts the
actually good.
conversation, you know.
That's actually, I think I'm gonna use that now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm listening to this currently phase, but it's still like, I don't know. I still feel like this sense of like, I don't know if it's me making myself feel too eclectic, or like my taste is like, oh, listen to that. And I don't want to have that. Like, I just want to be able to say I think I'm that, or I'm just really worried, like that, and then I'm gonna have to explain it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna have to go further into like, oh, what's that? Okay, well, what's that? And it's like getting in this conversation I don't want to be in. Like, I don't.
It depends on, yeah. I mean, if you don't want to get into the conversation, then stick with your everything. And
No, because then I hate that. I hate that.
then you hate yourself too
Yeah.
much. Well, see, I mean, I just got a new job, and a guy who's like 10 years older than I am, like, I was like, man, have you seen Donnie Darko, which is one of my favorite movies?
Yeah.
And he's like,
We're not repping Donnie Darko now.
God damn it. Can't we rep anything?
No.
And I was like,
Only ourselves.
I like Donnie Darko. Donnie Darko is a part of me.
Yeah.
Anyway. And he's like, man, that movie's overrated. And I was like, okay, you know, if you didn't love it, like, if you didn't see it and have an experience with it, and people were just like, hey, you should watch this movie, it's so weird and stuff, and people are in your face for weeks about it, and then you finally saw it, and you just saw Donnie Darko, you'd probably be like, oh, fucking Jake Gyllenhaal, get out of my face. Like, you're weird. And I get it, like, not everyone can like the same movies. And so I let that go. And then he's like, you know, it's another overrated movie? Fight Club. And I was like, what's wrong with you?
Terrible person.
Yeah, and then I was just like, okay, you know what? These are like two of my favorite movies, and you just said that they're overrated. What is your like movie palette? You know?
Yeah.
And like, what's some great movies in your eyes?
Like, I
and
really
he's
like Tim Burton.
he said The Godfather, and I was like,
What do you like, Scarface too?
yeah, and I was just
Jeez.
like, man, that's.
I already
such
hate this guy.
He's really nice, actually.
Fuck him. Especially if you're listening.
Like,
Tell him to listen to this podcast.
Shout out to Carlos. You're cool. You're my
Fuck
favorite
you, Carlos.
dude who works there. All right, that's all the shout outs. All right, speed round. That answer took 3.5 minutes.
It took so long, and I gotta go. Maybe we'll save them for the next one. We'll keep people.
Ooh, cliffhanger.
Yeah.
3 more questions.
Cliffhanger. Yeah.
Man, we didn't even get to
We
the
didn't-
improv game.
There was an improv game. I know. We could have all.
We could have
participated.
3-player.
I'm so sad the world
Let's-
had to miss out on that.
Yeah, let's do. I know it would have been even cringier than my ideas. So let's. So we'll shout out
Solid
each
world.
other. So thank you, Drew, for being on the show.
Oh,
Thank you,
thanks,
Kayla,
man.
for being a silent
Hey,
partner
thanks for
in all
having me.
this. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And thanks myself.
Thanks, Gabe.
Thank you.
Look, putting it all together.
Yeah, thank
It's
you.
the orchestrator, the GM,
Go on.
the game master
Mm-hmm.
of podcasts.
Can you write me an intro like I wrote you an intro?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm not gonna do it.
Damn it. Can I write it and then have you read it?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. That'll work.
As long as I don't have to do work, I just come here to talk.
Okay, good. All right. Bye.
Peace.